The Owners Club Roundtable.
That's
Good golly gosh. We did it
You know
again.
what? You know how you could bust it out the park too? You could call, let's say, call the local news channels, right? And have and then have them come out and have a story on what you're doing,
Yeah.
right? And that's gonna have super impact immediately, right?
Right.
So now you leveraging the mass media to kind of tell your story, and that's something that you can't beat, right? So,
For sure.
and I think that's a humanitarian story that the news outlets would want to cover, right? This is a feel-good story on top of all the fear. They always
Yeah,
have
you gotta have one every month or so.
you know the thing. Right? So they're gonna have a feel-good story to implement to say, hey, this is what's going on, guys. Keep watching, right?
For sure.
So I think leveraging our local news as well in that manner,
Yeah.
can be a plus to kind of expedite your growth as well. And now people are interested and they see you, and you know that word of mouth gets around.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, even with just posting randomly on socials, right? People are watching, and it's like that's what Pace is always talking about, right? Making those clones for yourself. Like, I don't have a huge following yet, but even in the little that I do, if I talk when I was at the property talking about sober, I got more response from that and people reaching out, seeing how they could help, raising funds and stuff. Like, it's easy stuff. It's just you got to talk about it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, getting news outlets involved or radio or something involved is it's smart, just to get more eyeballs on it, because like it's a nationwide problem, and if I can be attached to that in some way, all about it.
That's just like
another thing that's going to definitely help you out a lot is going back to the street hacks, so because there's a lot of people that they are already recuperated and then they're doing very, very well, and that I'm sure if you bring the story to them, they are going to be more than happy to come back and contribute, because they're going to remember that one day they were there.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, ultimately, like, I don't know if you guys know Patrick Charles. If you don't, you need to talk to him, because he's crushing it. I did an interview with him recently where he's doing transitional houses with guys coming out of the prison system. And he's basically turning them into business owners before they move out of his house, which is wild. And so, like, doing something like that in this sober stuff where we could show them, because this in-house manager has gone through the program 9 times out of 10, right? That works within Oxford. What if we could also show them, the people that are currently living there, kind of like a continuing education thing? Like, hey, if you're in this house, you need to do this hour of coaching or whatever, where I could show you how to become a house manager, but then outside of that, how you can go and buy one of these houses yourselves and rent it out to Oxford House or whatever, and now you're becoming a business owner in this space that helped you get back on your feet, right? And so, like, build this giant funnel of folks that we help get healthy back into the workforce, and now they're entrepreneurs to go and help more people and more people, and that ripple effect could be crazy.
I love that. I think you got like 3-4 good ideas out of this night, Adam.
Yeah, dude. Appreciate it. Boardroom.
There's more than just houses. So
yeah, 100%.
That's what's up. Adam, you are absolutely off on the races of being a trailblazer, and I'm so excited to see your progression, and we're bringing alongside of you. And I feel like that's what a lot of people want to talk about. But I want to talk about something maybe a little outside real estate, maybe a little outside co-living and sober living. Who are you outside of that? You're obviously a dad. What is that like? Like, what does life look like for Adam after the coffee shop, after real estate? What does it look like?
Yeah. So, I mean, first and foremost, I'm a believer, right? I'm Christian, been my whole life, and been involved in the church in a variety of ways. So obviously all glory to God in that. Father, for sure. Got 3 small kids, 2 boys and a girl. They're got me wrapped around their finger. I love spending time with them and seeing the world through their eyes, right? Like those instances that you don't remember as a kid, now we can see it through our children, like is super powerful. And so just doing anything with them, right? Just laying on the ground, watching cartoons, whatever. My oldest is 6 now, and he's become like my little helper. He goes to rehabs with me, he goes to Lowe's with me to buy stuff, and it's awesome, right? And so outside of that, like, I'm still a creative photographer on the side. Don't really do it for money anymore, just because it's not worth my time. It's more just it took all the fun out of it, right? So I still do that. I still skateboard a couple times a week, just for fun. Do a little bit of exercise. Play video games from now and then I'm a woodworker. Like I'm turning bowls this year for Christmas, and making some wooden pens and stuff. So that's fun. Always enjoy working with my hands, building things. But yeah, man, just a regular guy.
That sounds like a lot more than a regular guy. I don't think you know what a regular guy is. I don't think you know the definition of that. You don't got that straight. Let me straighten that out for you. I'm gonna tell you what a regular. No,
You are extraordinary, Adam. Absolutely.
Thanks, dude.
yeah, absolutely. It's a lot more than a regular guy.
Humble. That's all right. Humble.
So, sorry, I got very late to the conversation. So I got the guys know that I'm a talker. I'm always like asking a million questions, and you guys can tell that I'm kind of quiet today. It's because I don't want to ask stupid questions. Like I don't want to ask something that has already been asked, right?
Sure.
So that's why I was like, oh my God, I don't want to ask something, and then you guys already asked about it. But just really quick, I'm trying to go back. Like, how long have you been in real estate?
So I got
sure
started.
You already asked this question, right?
No, they didn't.
No.
Yeah, they asked me how I got into real estate, but not how long ago. And so officially got into real estate investing in October of 2021. So like just over 3 years.
Still during pandemic.
Yes. Yep. And so before that, I was a full-time real estate photographer. So I was in real estate, but as a service provider, not doing anything with the houses, right? And that's where I got the bug of like wanting to flip homes. I shot 200 flips, and one guy in particular here, I actually sell a lot of deals to him now. He does 150 flips a year, and so like just smashing it. And so I shot his before and after photos on every house he did for like 4 years in a row. And I'm just like, dude, how does this guy, like, I'm shooting 8 of his houses a week. How does he have this many houses? Like, where is he finding them? How is he funding them? What is it like? What's going on here? And but limited mindset, all that kind of stuff. It went to the back of my mind for a few years, and then that's when I jumped in. So yeah, like LLC was started. Actually hit the ground running. Started making calls, and it was in October of 21.
So do you start as a wholesaler?
Yep.
Okay. Are you still a wholesaler? I'm sorry.
Yeah. We still wholesale a couple deals here and there a month, and then I primarily am flipping, like creative flips only. So like a subtail or a novation without the risk is kind of what I call them. And so we're doing
That's
2 to
my
4
right now. It's an innovation deal. I actually got
Nice.
an innovation deal without knowing it was an innovation deal.
Oh yeah, nice. But yeah, we're doing 2 to 4 flips at any given time here in the Triangle area. And then I've got a couple rentals in the sober stuff. But yeah, the creative flips, we made a pivot to that about a year ago. And 2 weeks ago, we sold our last cash deal that we had already been working on. And so now we're only buying houses sub-2 seller finance to do flips on. And so we've got 2 in the pipe now, and we're going to close on another one probably in 2 weeks. And I don't take them down unless we're making 6 figures. So, yeah.
Nice. That's amazing.
Those triple-digit flips. I love it.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, sorry, Zaskia. I just jump in real quick. So if you started all over again, would you still go the same route you did, or would you start a different spot, or how would you go?
No, I think I would do everything the same. I would get a mentor faster. That's the only regret I have on the path, because anyone that asks me what to get into, regardless of what they want to do at the end, I tell them to start wholesaling. Regardless if you make money or not, knowing how to go and find the deal direct to the seller, like that's a skill set that'll transcend any part of this industry. And so learning how to deal with the rejection, how to handle rebuttals on the phone, do that kind of stuff, and just build up your people skills is going to help you in every aspect of your life outside of just business. So I would do everything the exact same. I just didn't know what I didn't know, right? It took me 8 months to get my first deal across the finish line, not without trying. I was just spinning my wheels. And if I was on somebody else's team or I joined somebody's organization, I could have cut that time in half or sooner, because I was putting in the work. I just didn't know what I was doing.
Right. Right. Yeah. And you got to take some of those no's to get closer to that yes. So you got to learn it, but using other people's knowledge to leverage that I completely
100%.
agree, man. Yeah.
Who was your first mentor?
So first paid mentor, well, no, first mentor was the guy who actually showed me like wholesaling was legit, right? Jerry Norton was my gateway drug into wholesaling because I could see that this is a thing, but I was like, there's no way this is real, dude. Made 40 grand off a piece of paper? Come on. Like, no way. This is just another funnel to get into some coaching that doesn't work. And so I was still curious, right? And I tried every other side hustle ever. And so I went on some local Facebook like real estate groups and just started messaging people. And so this guy, his name's Ted, we connected and I was just like, bro, I keep seeing all this stuff on wholesaling. You said that you're doing this. Can you just show me? I called it a receipt. I didn't even know like closing docs and HUDs and stuff. I was like, can you show me a receipt of a deal you actually closed to know that this is legit? And he's like, yeah, I closed a vacant lot like 2 weeks ago. I made 25 grand. Here's the receipt, newbie. And I was like, dang, okay, well, this is real. And so obviously I leaned on him super heavy for the first couple of weeks, like getting really good at comping. Where do I need to lock this up at? He would help. If I could get it under contract, he would try to help me dispo it. And we probably had 6 or 7 that went under contract that just fell out for a variety of reasons. Either I locked it up too high, buyers were fake, sellers were lying. That was the number one, like knowing how to cut through the BS with sellers. And so he was just on the sidelines, kind of like coaching from afar. And then that's when I found my actual business partner. We started making more traction because we were just pushing in the same direction. He had his own business. Well, I should have asked him to just be like, hey, Ted, can I make calls for you? And you figure this out and use your skill set. But so he was more like a friend / mentor showing me the ropes. First paid mentorship that I joined was Jay Connor, if you're familiar with him. He's a private money lending guy. Great guy. I wouldn't recommend buying his course just because of the cost. Everything that you'd ever want to learn that he teaches is in sub 2 times 10. But I joined that because raising private capital was something that I had no idea how to do it, right? And so even outside of, we had figured out how to close a couple deals, but it's like, I want to get into flipping, but I don't have any money. How am I going to do it? I need to learn how to raise money. And that guy's local to me or a couple hours away, went to one of his seminars, whatever, drank the Kool-Aid, got into the program. And so it was helpful, but it wasn't, I was already like higher up in the knowledge base than 90% of the people in the room that I was in. And there wasn't much collaboration like sub 2 where we all are doing deals together and stuff. It was very closed, one Zoom a week. You don't really talk to each other. But I kind of broke those rules and basically became the group wholesaler because now all these people are raising money, but they don't know how to go find deals. So it's like, all right, tell me where you want to get a deal. Tell me where you want to get a deal. I'll go and market in that area, sell you a deal and make a quick 10, 20 grand, get my money back for paying for the mentorship. And then if anything, it's a break-even deal, but I built these relationships moving forward. And now I know how to raise capital. So that was my first guy. And then it was Pace. Joined Gator first and then sub 2, and now I'm in Owners Club.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, okay, sorry, you're in all of them pretty much.
Yeah, I'm not in top tier just because paperwork bores me to tears. So I'd rather hire a TC to know it. I understand it. I can do it if I need to, but I don't want to.
That's amazing. And all the mentors that what would you say are your top 3 things that you feel that you have learned and that you're going to take with you forever with Jay and with sub 2 owners, just Pace mentorship?
Yeah. I mean, I think just communicating in general, right? Like before I got into real estate, I was very much like more of an introverted person, or I would label myself as such. Right? Because like the biggest challenge for me to get into the space was just picking up the freaking phone, right? It's 600 pounds when it's sitting on your desk, and that's the only way you're going to get leads is if you talk to these sellers. Like I mentioned it on my like the first podcast that I did talking about like my journey, the first deal, probably the first 10 sellers that I called and they actually answered, I hung up on them because I was so terrified of talking to them. And like that took forever to break through, right? But it's like that's a skill. It's a learned trait, just like anything else, right? You go into the gym, you can't lift 350 pounds the first time you go in there. And so it's just like those small adjustments day after day after day. And so like being able to storytell, to communicate effectively for sure in all of through Jay, through Pace, of course, he's the best in the world at storytelling, that for sure. And then just being creative, right? Problem solving. I've always enjoyed doing that, and now I get to do that in a much like higher level, dealing with this real estate stuff, right? And figuring out how we can pull the levers to make the deals work, like finding sober, how to stop foreclosures, how to do this, that, and the third. Like all of that stuff is super fun to me. And it, in turn, because we're able to help people, right? Like this is a people business. It's not a property business, right? At the end of the day. And so being able to build those relationships and solve those unique problems that we can with the skills that we have is why I love doing what we do.
Nice.
Dude, you got to do a podcast, Coffee After Dark. It's got to be. It's got to. You got to shut the lights off in the coffee shop.
I know, dude.
You in the corner with a cup
I got to
of
change
coffee.
this timer. It goes off way too quick. I don't think we're talking that long. Good Lord. My partner must have been in here. He's like, our light bill's too high. You're in there shooting too much content.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Guys, so you guys have another question? Because I do have another one, but I don't want to step on nobody's toes. So.
No, do your thing, that's it.
Better say it, see?
Okay. So you see, I'm telling you, that's the problem when I come into the meeting.
You're fine. You're fine.
So stop. What ability do you think that if you can master or that you're missing and that you wish you had will bring you to the next level?
Yeah. It's more the operations side, right? The integrator. I'm very much the visionary of the company, and Scott has those integrator tendencies, obviously being a CPA, being in numbers and stuff, but on the like building out SOPs, optimizing a CRM, that kind of stuff. Because we both still have W-2s, it still doesn't make sense for him either. And so like that's one of our biggest bottlenecks is hiring an operator to do all the back end stuff. So all I'm doing is locking up deals, and then I can kind of throw it to them and they handle the rest. And so that's something we're actively like hiring for or looking for, partnering with somebody to bring in an operator. Because outside of that, I'm the biggest bottleneck because I just don't have the time, right? Once I go full time, we're going to launch to the moon. But I'm doing as much as I possibly can with the time that I have with all these plates that are spinning. But there's a lot more opportunities that I'm missing because I'm stuck in one place for most of the day with the W-2 situation.
Are you ready for an operator? I'm sorry. Are you ready for an operator?
I mean, yes and no. Are you really ever ready? Right? Like in any part of this business as we grow. And so it's just, we got to do it. And so I've held off longer than I need to. I just need to get somebody in here. So I'm talking to a handful of people, and I'm going to reach out to Rinda and her team, and same with Molly's folks, to find somebody that we can figure out some sort of situation, if it's just like a profit split or paying them some sort of base, and then they get a bump when we close deals or whatever. But that's the next step for sure for us to continue to grow, is finding somebody to do all that grunt work that I don't have the time or the unique skill set to do, right? My time's better served doing other things.
Is that the reason why you haven't done it, because of a financial situation where you need the salary to, bring somebody on board?
Yeah, I think that's part of it, or thinking that I need to have that, right? Because I know, like, I'm sure I can find somebody that would be like, just wants to join a group, right? And they're okay to put in the time on the front end, just like all of us were when we got started, right? Like you have to pick up the phone. There's no guarantees to making money. Mm-hmm. So I think that was more just my mindset of like, oh, I got to be able to support somebody making 60, 80K a year to do this back end stuff. And I'm not at that point yet. But I don't think that's really the case. It's just talking. The more people I talk to about doing it, they're like, oh yeah, you can have somebody in there that'll do some sort of split with you and get paid as you guys close deals. So,
and not only a flip, and not only to be part of it, but also like the way I would look at it is, if I'm doing a flip, right, and I'm gonna get a profit from it, me investing the money to flip another property will be the same, or I will flip it even more if I invest it into someone, right? Because an investment is not only a property; it's also your
sure.
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will take that profit and just put it back into my team, so then my team can bring me more flips and I can triple my business.
Right.
So, I mean, at least that's the way that I would work it out. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, I would take some of that money and just whatever flip I'm doing, if I'm making 40, 50K, let me take 30K of that, just save it in an account so I can pay a salary for enough time until the investment that I'm putting into this person, I'm starting to see the profit, and that's it. I'm
Right.
not gonna feel it. So you're gonna get that
Yeah.
money back like
For
this.
sure. Yeah, no, that's great insight. Absolutely.
Yeah, I connected with Heather Grizzard. Have you ever met Heather?
Yeah, I love Heather. She's great.
Yeah, she's providing a service. She's doing something for me, and obviously she's an integrated operator, and she's
Mhm.
also pivoted where she works per hour on a per hour basis. So maybe that's something that you might be interested as well.
Yeah, like fractional kind of integration. Yeah.
Maybe there's something there. Again, once you know more options, to have someone that
Yeah.
can do these things. So maybe connection.
Totally. Yeah, I think it's more just doing we got to do like a time audit, right? Me and Scott sit down and be like, all right, this is what we need to do at this. We've just been rolling so many things at once. It's just finding the time to sit back and figure out how we can optimize our business itself, because you just get stuck in that hamster wheel of just activity after activity after activity.
Yeah.
And it's like we need to pause a little bit so we can just go that much faster.
Put it in
moving
your
forward.
calendar.
Yeah,
I'm
totally.
going through the same
Absolutely. I need to time block it for sure.
Yeah, Zaskia, give me one more. Give me something.
No, I was saying that I'm going through the same thing. I'm
Yeah.
right now I'm finishing the year, and I'm like, I need to like
Breathe.
put a stop on everything for a second and just like go back and be like, okay, this is the priorities that I need to work on right now. Everything else just needs to hang on. Like you said, there's too many plates moving at the same time, but I need to prioritize them, which ones are the first ones that I want to take control of. So
Totally.
I could see where you're coming from, but the faster you're growing, the more team you're gonna need. So we do have to take, those salaries and all these things into consideration. But I could tell you one thing: once I start investing in my team, I start growing like crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah,
For sure.
for me, the best investment that I've ever done is investing back in my team. To be honest
Yeah.
with you. So
That's good.
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for Zaskia. She's doing major things in Central Florida. Believe
Stop
it.
Oh,
Love it.
I
Believe
love
it.
listening to you.
She got vice presidents and stuff visiting her, giving her awards and stuff.
right.
I know.
Right.
I mean,
You're watching my social media too much.
I
got rewarded. Actually, that is true. I did get rewarded for
That's right.
our producer.
You did. I remember.
And that's for real estate. It's not even for that was my real estate broker, not my insurance.
You see, she got a lot of things, man. You
Love
see? I love it.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. A lot of hard work, man. A lot. But
Zaskia, you said something that I want to touch base on. You said that you would not, because you made your bones kind of in the mobile homes, as you said, right? When you are flipping that. And so in these houses, can you put a mobile home in back of let's say in the yard somewhere?
if they qualify for an ADU, you can either do a mobile home or you can actually do an in-laws. Doesn't matter. As long as, at least in Florida or the areas that I'm in, as long as the property is not more than half of the actual property. So whatever your addition, so it's not more than half or up to 1,000 square feet.
Interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So it can be, you can build an ADU or you can just, install a mobile home, whatever you choose to, whatever you decide to do. It's on you.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
I don't know. And they do that in California a lot. I've heard, damn, who the hell was it? Was it I think Armando, it's in California. Armando Lopez.
Yes.
Yeah, and I want to say that when I had a conversation with him, if I'm not mistaken, I'm almost positive that it was him that was telling me that he's actually doing ADUs on some of the property that he has in California too. So
Okay.
yep.
Okay.
Good.
I just wanted to.
At least here you can, I mean, depending on the county, but for the most part, at least the county where I have the property that I'm doing the flip on right now, which is actually an innovation deal. And, it qualifies for an ADU. So whether I decide to build it or I decide to put in a mobile home there, as long as it's less than 1,000 square feet or the size of the property, then I'm good.
I like that. Good to know.
After this call, I'm gonna ask my wife if we can put a mobile home in our backyard. So if Mike, if you get a call later on tonight asking me to pick me up or whatever,
Yeah, just give
what it's
give me
for.
about 7 hours. I'll be right there. Don't worry.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yep.
I'll see you soon.
All right, sounds good. I'll start leaving right now.
That was awesome.
Guys, great podcast. Adam, thank you so much for coming on, brother.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
Great meeting you, dude, by the way. And I think I can speak for everybody when I say we're all really supporting what you're doing. And
Yeah.
the fact that you want to help
Appreciate
people get sober, get healthy. I love it, dude. Thanks for what you do and keep doing it, brother. Keep killing it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you. Pleasure meeting you.
Hey,
my
real quick,
pleasure.
Adam, you're on social media, right? Right, Adam?
Yeah. On
Really
Instagram and
good.
YouTube, it's all at the Adam Colburn.
Pace will kick him out of the owners club if he doesn't have a social media.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So reach out to Adam, folks. Help him
Yeah,
out,
we'll have to
those
get you guys
problems.
on my pod as well.
Anytime.
Do episodes for you guys for sure.
Absolutely.
We got one in the can already.
Yeah, I got Mando, but I gotta knock the rest of y'all out.
Yeah. I'm gonna go watch that Patrick one though.
Dude, that one's fire. Patrick's killing it. Yeah,
Because he's out of Philly. He's doing, I think,
yeah,
Philly and
New Jersey. Yeah,
South Jersey, I believe. All right,
yeah, crushing it.
brother. Keep on
Sweet.
doing the thing.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks.
Bye, Adam. Take care.
Yeah, man.